Hey everybody, Kane here and welcome to another video of Art of Conquest. So, in this one, I had been streaming yesterday evening and in some fights, my dragon had gotten one-shotted. In some points, I even one-shotted some people's dragons. So there was a fight against Jester, whom I know, in which the battle kind of seemed like an auto battle, and even on stream I said, yeah, let's just play it off as auto battle because, that's exactly what happened, right? So, I went into the battle like a second, 0.5 seconds too late, and I tried casting Avril, but he denied it with Raxias. So, aside from that, I think I wanted to cast Hopnia to stun, but for some reason it clicked on Hourglass, and apparently like a hero casted Hourglass, and I was like, well, fuck. But the most important one, or the most important thing in this battle was pretty much the dragons and the Lee, because that is the reason why this fight went instantly sideways. So, what happened here? So when our Lees met, both of them casted Pacifies. The dragon, or rather the damages, were popped on both of our dragons. However, when we will be casting another Pacify from our heroes, his Pacify one-shotted my dragon, right? Through Draconic Defiance. My Draconic Defiance is on Elana right here in this corner. She is alive, she isn't in any invincibilities or whatever, and my dragon got one-shotted through Draconic Defiance, which tends to happen actually quite often with Lee. Now, there are some causes that can make it happen, perhaps. Perhaps he's a little bit tuned, too strong, or something. I'm not even sure which one of his abilities is actually able to do that. Personally, I think it's like a Thunderstruck or something, or one of the procs of the Pacify. So from what I've noticed from multiple battles and replays I have watched, the people who don't have a Dragon Shadow ability, which is another one of the dragon's tanking abilities, can get their dragons one-shotted with more chances than those who actually do have it. So before Lee, before this optimization of the field, or tune down, or nerf, or shadow patch, or whatever you want to call it, the Dragon Shadow ability wasn't something that you necessarily incredibly require to PvP or stuff like that. Like the dragon was tanky enough even without it. Like sometimes, yeah, the dragon popped. Most of the times, usually a few heroes died before the dragon died. In the very least, like around 4,400s. I'm not really sure what happened in the very high tier PvPs and stuff like that, but usually those I don't look into too much because I'm not really at that sort of power level, I suppose. So it wasn't really that much required, but from the PvPs that I have checked around my own core power, around my own dual tower, even vastly below, like this particular ability, if you don't have it on your dragon, the dragon can be like go to zero in the very first few seconds. However, if you do have this ability, the dragon cannot take damage for a kind of a decent amount. Like even area damage on him doesn't seem to proc even as much damage, and that can be a variety of reasons. Maybe the shield is higher percentage than what it says here. Maybe the damage reduction, along with the armory reductions, adds up to maybe 99 and above, and stuff like that, similar to what the frontline had. Or maybe even the reductions are a lot higher. So after the recent optimization and stuff like that, the dragon actually with this ability became pretty friggin' overpowered. Now this is just one example with Jester. Across like, I don't know, I had probably like 20 fights, maybe more, across a couple of days. I think here might have been like 10. The Dragon Shadow is actually making the dragon incredibly tanky. And currently, we don't really have the ability to actually be able to acquire it, even if we save for it. And the only way we might be able to acquire it is, I think, spin 700 times on Lucky Wheel, or do this sort of a purchase gift, which is also like, I don't know what, 500 bucks. I think it's what, 600 bucks. So it's honestly, I mean, they at the very least they should add the Finders Keepers back, cause my god. Now this doesn't again happen with like 100% certainty, but what I do mean is the dragon is just incredibly tanky with a Dragon Shadow ability in comparison to without. Now again, my dragon has maxed or close to max resistances in the armory, but still being able to be bopped almost instantly even through Draconic Defiance. And there's something with that Dragon Shadow ability that just makes the dragon incredibly tanky. So tanky to the point that half of my PvP field, we're talking like, let me just point it out so people would know. God damn it, I can't click on the heroes. So I had my Valerie. I mean, she's in the DPS. She's more of a debuffer with the equipment, with sort of a decent attack in my stage. I had her. I had Ophidia, which is sort of also like a debuffer prism carrier with a decent attack value. And then I had this. I had Arian, which is also doing a decent amount of damage even without proper DPS setup. I had Tisafin with a tier 11 devastating strike with a decent attack value as well. And I had Lee with Overwhelm, hitting a dragon with Dragon Shadow. I think that dragon had like 500, 600 HP value, and I wasn't able to kill it. I think that battle is... Wait, let me just quickly check it. I might actually have it. Let's just quickly check it for reference. Sorry, that was the other replays. I think it's actually this fight, so I might be able to show. I think I ended up killing the dragon by the very end, but let's check what happens. So, we go into the battle. Let's just quickly plow through. So you can see the Dragon Shadow by this blue passive right there. So we go into the fight, we cast abilities, we do the damage. He has Lee on that side, I have Lee here. My Lee didn't even scratch the dragon. Now I'm casting Avril. The Avril is also touching the dragon, but dragon's HP isn't even touching. Like you can see my dragon just dropping at like decent percentages. You can see heroes dropping at decent values as well. You can see my dragon just being damaged. Like my Lee is just popping his pacifies and stuff like that. The dragon is taking 0 damage. Now I have still Arian, I have Ophidia, as I said, Tisafin. Valerie is right here also debuffing, and he has just a couple of gladiators. Like, as you can see, I still have Avril. Like, literally, I think all of my heroes are alive and hitting the dragon. I think some of them might die. Okay, so Avril and Valerie died to Lee, right? But all the others are still alive. And as you can see, they're going to and are focusing the dragon. For 40 seconds thus far, my Lee, my DPS heroes hitting the dragon are not even able to scratch it. Like, do you see what this is? I'm not sure if this is sometimes a bug. I'm honestly not certain why this sort of thing happens. Like, at this point, it seems like these heroes are bugged. Like, they don't even do friggin' animations for some reason. But you can see their attacks actually just flying. But only now, 1 minute after, I was able to touch this particular dragon. But let's see what this dragon particularly had. So it had more HP than I did. It had more attack than I did. Had Dragon Scale, Noble Blood, Scales, Dragon Shadow. He had this ability as well. So his dragon had a decent amount of damage reduction, right? as well as, of course, the dragon shadow. So it could be that the dragon just overstacked incredible amounts of resistances and made it impossible to kill, but the dragon shadow wasn't such a problem prior to, again, that optimization, tune down, deactivations, or whatever the hell you want to call it. So just giving some sort of an awareness of what you might possibly do to make a dragon broken. I mean, it does cost a huge amount of money, at the very least at the moment. Maybe they will add Finders Keepers eventually. We will have to see, but I mean, if it does, I might actually just go for this ability, because it, might make PvP a little bit more possible to do, and my dragon not instantly one-shot it. Try multiple things. I try putting heroes in front of the dragon. I try like frontline with Avalon boosted. Doesn't work. Dragon is one-shotted through Lee, or sometimes even Avril with a high tier Awakened Prism. So it's pretty freaking crazy. But yeah, hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, do hit that subscribe button. It would help me out a lot. As well as if you would wish to support me more than just watching my videos, I have made a Patreon page where you would be able to do just that. In return, I would be able to help you out more individually in terms of events, PvP formations, and stuff like that. As well as I would like to thank all of my patrons for the support. I really appreciate it for your subscriptions. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay safe out there.